Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to set up your Arris router. And before starting, if this video helps, please support me. I donate half of all donations to shelters. You can find more details in the description below. The first step is to turn on the router. Take the power adapter. Plug one end of the power adapter into a wall outlet. Connect the other end to the router. When it's powered on, a light will illuminate. It might take a few minutes for the router to fully power up. Next, plug the cable from your broadband provider or modem into the internet port. This port is often called WAN and is usually a different color. Each cable should be inserted until it clicks. Now you should reset the router to its factory settings. Hold down the reset button on the router for 10 seconds. Wait for the lights on the router to begin flashing. Occasionally, this button can be found inside the router casing to avoid accidental presses. Use a slim object to press it down. The router will reboot, resetting all the settings to their original factory defaults. Connect one end of the Ethernet cable that came with the router to an Ethernet port. Connect the other end to your computer or laptop's Ethernet port. Please wait a few minutes for connection. Awesome! Your router is now connected to your computer. Now you will need to set it up. Before we get started, I'll show you another way to connect the router in case you don't have an Ethernet cable or your computer doesn't have an Ethernet port. Connect the router to the power adapter and cable from your internet provider. This will turn on the Wi-Fi. If the router is new and hasn't been set up yet, the Wi-Fi network will be named after the router itself. Your router has a unique Wi-Fi network name and password printed on a label. Connect to it. Great job connecting to the router. Now let's move on to the setup process. So, first open the Surfboard Central app. Tap on the Get Started button. On the next step, you need to grant access permissions to continue. Also, make sure Bluetooth is enabled. To proceed, tap the Continue button. Grant all permissions requested by the app. On the next screen, select your device type. In our case, choose Surfboard Max. Then tap the Next button. On the following screen, select your device model and tap the Next button. Now you need to sign in to your Surfboard account. If you don't have one, tap the Sign Up button. Here, fill in all the required information. Then tap the Sign Up button. On the next screen, enter the verification code. Check your email account for the verification code and enter it here. If not found, check your spam folder. Tap on Resend for a new code if needed. Then tap the Next button. On this page, click Skip Optimization. Then just keep tapping the Next button. At this stage, you may encounter an error message. First, tap the Try Again button. If the error persists, tap the Continue Onboarding button. Then just keep tapping the next button. Your phone will attempt to connect to the router via Bluetooth. Make sure Bluetooth is enabled on your device. It might even seem like the app is frozen. If the connection fails, tap the Try Again button. If it succeeds, tap the next button. Next, your router will try to establish an internet connection. This process may take a few minutes. It might even seem like the app is frozen. Just wait for the connection attempt to finish. If the connection fails, tap the Try Again button. If it succeeds, tap the next button. If the connection still fails, tap the Troubleshoot button. On the next screen, follow the on-screen instructions step by step, and after each step try tapping the Proceed button. First, check that the internet cable is plugged into the port labeled WAN at the bottom of the router. Make sure that both ends of the Ethernet cable are firmly plugged in. If the error doesn't go away, try restarting the router and going through the setup process from the beginning. If nothing helps, contact your internet provider. They will help you identify the issue. If the error disappears, tap the next button. On the next screen, the router will check for firmware updates. If a new update is available, I recommend installing it. Then tap the next button. At the next stage, you need to create a name and password for your Wi-Fi network. The password must be at least 8 characters long. Now connect to your Wi-Fi network using the name and password you just created. While the router completes the final setup steps, you can tap the Get Started button to launch an additional tutorial, or you can tap Skip Tutorial. Done. Your router is now set up. That's all. If my video was useful, please support my work. I donate half of all donations to shelters. You can find more details in the description below.